10 maidens, Zach. Let's topple their hourglass figures and complete this oracle once and for all.
Oh, my Lord. I don't believe I've seen you around here before. Sorry, honey, but you can't smoke in here. Since you're with Patricia, I'm guessing you're some friend of Melvin's.
He's Agent York from the FBI. This is Alexis, the owner of this restaurant. I'm helping out Agent York in his investigation. We signed a contract.
Oh, my Lord. Well, ain't that something?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. Everyone's always called me that.
Oh, my Lord. Well, that's got to be the strangest introduction I've ever heard. No wonder everyone in town's been talking about you.
I want a chocolate sundae, but no cherries. I want 2 wafers instead. Don't put too many Rice Krispies on it. Oh, but don't scrimp on the chocolate syrup either.
Oh, my Lord. And what'll it be for you, honey?
Alexis, are these photos of the town?
Oh, you like my pictures? My hobby's collecting snapshots of what our town used to be like. So whenever someone gives me an old picture, I just put it up here on display. Our world these days feels a bit cold to me, you know? Just thought it'd be nice to help folks remember what it was like in the good old days.
Zach, did you hear that? The good old days. Even in a remote town that's already far behind the times, there are still people who yearn for the past.
She told me what was going on, you know.
What?
Lise, you don't need to try and hide it from me, honey. Last time she came here, she told me all about it. Some odd fella was following her around, stalking her like.
What kind of fellow?
She said he had a really tall shadow.
How tall?
As tall as an oak tree.
Did that ring any bells for you?
Sadly, it didn't. I know just about everyone in this here town, but I ain't never seen a man who stands that tall. Maybe it really was an oak tree and she just mistook it for someone. Sometimes the silhouettes of them trees, with lots of Spanish moss hanging down, make me feel a little funny too.
I don't think so, Alexis. Lise said the shadow was following her, correct? That means she must have been stalked by a man as tall as an oak tree. If she had only mistaken an oak tree for a person, she wouldn't have described it that way. She might have said,
It felt like a crowd of people was staring at me.
Yes, exactly. She certainly wouldn't have talked about being followed by someone. Thank you, Patty. Zach, this data is all very intriguing, but it isn't the answer we're looking for. We came to knock down the 10 maidens, remember?
Oh, yeah! Booyah! Oh, I got a turkey!
Truly mesmerizing, Zach. This is why I never tire of small-town investigations. Same goes for you, right?
Agent York, if you're fixing to bowl, you're gonna be disappointed. Mrs. Carpenter never lets anyone else use the lane while she's here.
Patty, that's exactly what I came to do. You see, Zach and I need to bowl down 10 maidens.
Fine, go on and try if you wanna, but I'm gonna eat my sundae. Hey! Are you nuts?
What's the most addictive drug in the world?
How should I know?
It's sugar, Patty. Far more people die from obesity and diabetes than from cocaine and heroin. Alexis, would you give her some milk?
Oh, my Lord. Coming right up, honey.
Sugar might be dangerous, but it ain't against the law. You got no right to take that from me, even if you are some FBI agent.
Actually, Patty, I do. We signed a contract, remember? I promised to protect you from all the evil in our world.
Hey!
Delicious. What an amazing chocolate sundae. Zach, I think we just uncovered an incredible treasure here. I feel like I could eat one of these every day while we're in this town.
Oh, what? I can't stand being inside this place without a chocolate sundae. Not even for a second.
Don't worry, Patty. I'll knock down those 10 maidens in the blink of an eye. You just wait here and drink your milk.
Meh.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, howdy, stranger. My, you're a handsome one. You came out here from the city, didn't you? I can always spot you city folk from a mile away.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Would you mind calling me York, ma'am?
Oh, so you are from the FBI. I thought as much. So sophisticated. Well, my horoscope in the paper today told me I'd be meeting someone new. And those horoscopes never miss. They're the real deal. Well, one even predicted when I'd bowl my first perfect game. Oh, no! Oh, could you stand a bit closer to me? Whew, that was a close one. If you move any further that way, you'll cast a shadow over the lane. Well, the sheriff did that once, and something horrible happened. The next time I bowled, I got a gutter ball. First time in 12 years. I was mortified. And I am going to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. In our world, some routines lead to good things, while others only lead to the bad. So, you mustn't ever cast a shadow over the lane. Is that understood?
It's her routine, Zach. Understand? Just like us and coffee. Incidentally, ma'am, would you mind letting me use this lane too? I'm investigating the Lise Clarkson murder case. And I need to topple 10 maidens, no matter what it takes.
No, absolutely not. Not even the FBI can take my lane from me. I haven't given it up once ever since my husband passed away over a decade ago. I'll never break my promise to him.
But...
Now, if you'll excuse me... Ooh, you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Who's your mama?
Zach, it looks like negotiations have failed. Now I'm afraid we have no choice but to force her to let us use her bowling lane. Yes, I know. I won't do anything illegal. Excuse me, Mrs. Carpenter.
Stop! Not now! Can't you see I'm already in my bowling stance? What, are you blind? Holy mother of bowling balls, let me... That stance, always works on a split. Oh, yeah, never fails.
Zach, our new friend, appears to be a very superstitious lady. We should try and utilize this trait of hers in order to gain access to the lane for a bit. That was an amazing shot, Mrs. Carpenter. In fact, it may have been the most amazing shot I've ever seen. Speaking of which, where did you happen to find all those neat little items? The ones you used to help you bowl that split just now?
Ooh, you got a keen eye there, Mr. Special Agent. Taking a liking to my collection, have you?
Oh yes, a great liking.
I buy all my charms and power stones from Erzuli Frida.
Erzuli Frida.
Yes, it's a mystical establishment run by the Mirror.
The Mirror?
If you're interested, I can mark it on your map for you.
Zach, this is it. Erzuli Frida. There must be a treasure trove of dubious trinkets on sale there. We may even be able to find something capable of changing her mind. It really feels like we're in the deep south now, doesn't it?
What'll it be, honey? What'll it be, honey?
Is this place a bowling?
Oh, my Lord, what's wrong, honey? Can't tell the difference? It says restaurant right there on the outside.
How do you explain that then?
That's so the customers can bowl while they eat. Convenient, ain't it? If you want to bowl, honey, you'll have to ask Mrs. Carpenter to open up the lane for you. But if you just want to eat, then all you need to do is call my name. Got it? Oh. Come back anytime, honey. You ain't gonna find any better Cajun food in all of Louisiana.
I thought you came here to bowl.
Yes, I did.
Then why are you leaving?
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the song route. the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of Wither? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. A voodoo shop. It's a voodoo shop.
Just looks like a dumb souvenir shop to me.
Of course it does, Patty. You're much too young to understand the true value of such a place.
This is all kid stuff. It's just a bunch of charms. I'm allowed to watch TV and go on the internet, but I ain't allowed in here? My daddy makes no sense sometimes. You agree, right, Agent York? This is all just kid stuff.
Look at this, Zach. All the mysticism of the Deep South gathered up into one quaint little shop. This is 100 times more exciting than the FBI evidence vault. It's a vast treasure chest. So much to study, so much to learn.
Thou art a seeker, and I see the object of thy desire. Doth this be what thou seekest? I could sell it to thee now, and only now. Surely fortune shall not bless thee with another chance. Purchase this, and know that thy wishes shall be granted.
That's crazy. Even I can tell you're getting cheated, Agent York.
I disagree, Patty. This person can be trusted. I've been studying people for quite a while, so I can tell. That figurine is connected to our future.
My price is true. What say thee? Thou art, or art thou sick?
The FBI's been having budget problems lately. Is there any way we could make some kind of
Nay, I desire. What better way to neutralize pure souls than copper dirtied with the base desires of man? If riches be thy quest, procuring and selling materials shall be thy weapon. The merchants of this hamlet shall pay thee a fair price for them.
materials?
Forsooth, sharpen thine eyes, and thy search shan't take thee far. Wild flowers, animal skins, bones, all may serve as materials. Dost thou understand? I see thou art a seek. I could sell it, my price.
I'll buy it.
Thou art a man of refined taste. I am loath to part with it, but 'twould be a fool's errand to keep it from such a keen-eyed soul.
What's wrong with you? No normal person would ever buy a piece of junk like that. Not even at a
Marvelous, isn't it, Zach? What a treasure. I can't wait to use it.
Use it? Where?
Isn't it obvious, Patty? I'm going to put it in front of Mrs. Carpenter's house.
In front of her house?
Yes. I'm sure this figurine will stop her right in her tracks. And that'll give us a chance to finally topple the 10 maidens.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. And so is Zach. Aren't you?
I'm seriously wondering if I should quit helping you out with this.
Mihala. Verily. I can see thou hast.
Whoa.
That was close.
Well, look at you, all standing there like you're expecting me to apologize. Huh, it's your fault for not paying attention. What?
Got a moment?
Can't say I do. I'm in a hurry here.
I won't take up too much of your time. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
I said I'm in a hurry, Peckerwood. Now get out of my way.
Patty, who was that?
Kalina Clarkson. PJ Clarkson's second daughter, and Lisa's mother.
Zach, we've found ourselves a Clarkson.
Oh no, she's not here. My dolly. Oh, she's not here. My dolly isn't here.
One of the key persons in this case just came out of the woodwork to meet us. Now things are really getting interesting. Isn't that right, Zach?
Mihal. Be at ease.
streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground was soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world, and there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York or D.C. They never stop to chit-chat, especially when ordering food. They only say what's necessary, without any decoration. The customer only makes eye contact with the waiter about once every 3 times they interact. But that's just how it is. Isn't that right, Sally? The human relationships here are as fluid as an inorganic mechanism running on the smoothest, purest oil there is. And it feels strangely comfortable after spending time in New Orleans and coming here. I think I'm starting to like the Southern disposition. They even have their own... Bad timing. We need to place the figurine in front of her. Let's come back later. Looks like a case of bad... Let's come back. So you, or the 3 of you, own the entire place.
Oh, heavens no, sir. The chef, the bellboy, and myself are all mere employees of this fine hotel.
So the Clarksons own this place, too.
Not quite, sir. This hotel opened its doors long before the Clarksons came to prominence.
Impressive. No wonder this building has such a dignified air to it.
Indeed. This is probably the only building in all of Lucare that has managed to retain its original appearance.
So who's the owner? I simply must know the name of the person who had the fortune and sense to come into possession of such a fine building.
The owner of this hotel is none other than David Jawara, sir.
Zach, that's the 4th David. It all makes sense now. It'd be stranger if only the owner was a completely different person. I sincerely hope I get a chance to meet him during my stay here.
If I may, Mr. Morgan, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Why not?
Unfortunately, our owner has a bit of a personality problem. The 3 of us here describe him as having a fractured mind.
Bad timing, Zach. We need to... Let's come back. Bad timing. We need to place the figurine in front of her. Let's come back. Bad timing. We need to... Let's come back. Zach, how about we grab a bite to eat? Yes. Perfect.
Oh, my dear lost lamb, what are you doing there?
Oh, this? This is all part of the Lise Clarkson murder investigation.
Something important, hmm?
Oh, yes. Very important. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me. But what should I call you?
I'm Tyrone Sanders, pastor of the Lucare Evangelical Church.
And what business does a pastor like yourself have in a place like this?
Well, I live over across the way there.
Do you have an intimate relationship with Mrs. Carpenter?
Why in the world would you suggest such a pitiful thing? Lordy, Lordy. How could I ever become intimate with one who is so devoid of faith? After she lost her husband, she stopped coming to church. All she does all day is bowl. She even pruned the shrubbery in that pitiful fashion. Yes, truly pitiful. And did you see that hideous ox of a dog she owns? Pitiful with a capital P. I tried speaking with her, but she shows no intention of changing her ways. Yes, I fear she never lends an ear when the good Lord reaches out to her. Indeed, I pity her from the bottom of my heart.
So you've been spying on her out of pity?
Spying? I'm merely awaiting the chance to lend her a helping hand. You'd best be careful, too. This town harbors much more danger than you're aware of. If you ever find yourself in need of salvation, feel free to stop by our church whenever you like. Our church also functions as a clinic. Someday, you may need our help.
Zach, did you hear that? Pitiful. Try saying that to someone in the city. They'd instantly slap you with slander or defamation charges. You'd be up to your neck in court papers. I doubt I'll tire of this town anytime soon. We should consider stopping by that church whenever we get a chance.
Very good, please. Serving, please do.
King size, made in France. It looks soft enough to alleviate all our exhaustion. Zach, even though the Bureau is paying for this, it's still tiring to have to live out of hotel rooms day after day. Nothing beats getting a good night's sleep in your own room.
Very good, sir. Please. Serving you, please do.
Hiya, boss. Hiya, boss.
Sorry for the wait, Patty.
Whatever.
Is Mrs. Carpenter here?
No, she hasn't come in today.
Everything's going according to plan. It's time to knock down the 10 maidens, Zach.
Oh, my Lord, y'all are back? Listen up, y'all ain't gonna believe this.
What's wrong?
Mrs. Carpenter hasn't come in. For the first time in 10 years, what could it be? I just hoping nothing bad happened to her.
She's fine. You have my guarantee.
Oh, my Lord. I reckon if an FBI agent like you is convinced, then I should be too.
What did I tell you, Patty? Value is a relative thing. We needed to find that figurine, no matter the cost.
You really wanted to bowl that bad? They don't have bowling alleys in the city no more?
Wrong, Patty. I have absolutely no interest in bowling. Tossing a heavy ball at lined-up pins? Where's the fun in that? You can't even call this a sport. It's a game for cavemen. Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Then can I throw the ball instead?
Absolutely not, Patty. This is part of the investigation. I need to do this myself, no matter how stupid it may be.
You're the one who's stupid. Sure looks like you're having fun to me.
Oh, looks like I finally earned myself a rival.
That was just a stroke of luck, Mrs. Carpenter. Despite how I may seem, I've never been any good at any of the ball-based sports that exist here on our planet.
Oh, no, you can't fool me. I can tell the FBI's giving you very special training. If I gave you a few lessons on top of that, I'm sure you'd be able to go semi-pro.
Semi-pro?
That's right. That's what I said.
Not pro, but semi-pro.
Yes, semi-pro. You'd never be able to go pro. You don't have what it takes. You could become a semi-pro if you tried really hard, though. Well, I guarantee it. Come back and see me when you feel like giving it a try. I'm sure my husband would forgive me if I let someone like you borrow my lane. Well, we gotta give youngsters a chance to grow. That's what we always say.
I could actually go semi-pro?
I'd take her words with a grain of salt if I were you.
Patricia, I can understand why you'd be envious of my talents, but you don't need to worry. You have your own unique talents, just like any other person. You shouldn't have to feel inferior every time you look at me.
You're unbelievable. You sure you don't need to get your head checked out?
It's so strange, Zach. I feel like I'm discovering a new side to myself.
By the way, Mr. Special Agent, you said you're investigating the Lise Clarkson incident, yes? In that case, there's something you should know. That poor girl, Lise, she was a druggie. And she was into the really bad stuff.
Red powder.
Oh, no wonder the FBI picked you. You already figured out that much. Well, the reason Lise turned into such a little hoodlum is because of her mother, Galena.
Galena?
Mm-hmm. A mother only in name. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, she's still nothing more than a child herself. Oh, dressing up in fancy clothes, always out on the town somewhere. Children giving birth to children. If these aren't the end times, well, I don't know what is. Oh, and they were always cooped up in that jazz bar. Galena wouldn't know proper parenting if it hit her in the tush.
Zach, the jazz bar. We first heard about it from Patricia. It must be deeply connected with this case. And the red powder. It must be San Rouge. Following the Oracle and felling the 10 Maidens sure paid off, didn't it?
So, Mr. Special Agent, are you all finished here?
Yes, Mrs. Carpenter. Thanks to you, I've gotten a new lead.
Oh, then how about you mosey on and let me get back to my bowling? I need to bowl my first game of the day or else I'm gonna get rusty. Well, what are you waiting for? Get a move on! Shoo, shoo!
Felling the 10 Maidens proved to be a more difficult task than it seemed, Zach. Next up is the ambiguous Zero. Let's head to the cold storage warehouse and catch that flying serpent.
Hi there, handsome. Hi there,
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, after all.
Yes, that's right. Therefore, I'd like to test my mettle on this lane. The bowling bug has bitten me, and it refuses to let go.
Well then, let's see what you got.
By the way, Mrs. Carpenter, remember the first time I bowled for you and showed you that I had what it takes to go semi-pro? Was there any special reason why the lane was open that day?
The truth is, something very peculiar happened that day. And as a result, I wasn't able to leave my house for quite some time.
Meaning?
I told you my husband passed away 10 years ago, didn't I? Well, I received a sort of message from him. Crime, punishment, and love, all three were intertwined.
Intriguing. I'd love to hear more.
When he was in good health, he only ever bought me a single present. Only once during our entire marriage. And oh, what a terrible present it was. That alligator figurine looked so atrocious, and it was wearing this hideous top hat.
Alligator figurine?
Oh, honestly, I just hated it. But that was the only present he ever gave me. So I put up with it and kept it in the house. Then, when he went up to heaven, I figured I finally had a safe chance to get rid of it. So I buried it along with his coffin.
You threw it away?
Yes, but I regret it now. The more I thought about it, the more I realized I'd just gotten rid of the one and only thing he'd ever given to me. I couldn't believe I'd gone and done something so stupid. Then, suddenly, something unbelievable happened. One day, I woke up, went outside as usual, and there it was. The figurine was right there in my yard, and it was glaring straight at me, as if it had a bone to pick with me. I was so shocked, I thought my heart was going to leap right out of my chest. Right there, I decided I had to tell my husband the truth. So I went up to his photograph and did my best to tell him the whole story. Then I heard it. Honeybee, that figurine is a gift from heaven.
Who said that?
He did. My husband started talking to me through his photograph. Well, instantly, I felt peace wash over my heart, and I decided to bring the figurine back inside my house. Then he spoke to me again. Let the youngster use the lane, he said. Suddenly, it all hit me. I rushed over, and there you were getting a strike. That's when I realized my husband has always been watching over me ever since he passed away. This is the power of eternal love. You understand me, Mr. Special Agent? Oh, dear. What was I thinking? I'm still in the middle of my game here. I was right on the verge of completely ruining my routine. Go on, get. I'm busy here. Shoo, shoo.
Eternal love, Zach. Isn't it wonderful? But why do you think her husband ever bought her that thing in the first... No, we better not go there, Zach. Mysteries are far more romantic when they're left unsolved, especially mysteries that are connected to romance.